Hi, Dr. Warren Wheeler here talking for BTS, Better Than Steroids again. And I want to review an interesting article that I read on Yahoo News, of all places. It's from Time Magazine, but since I don't get that fine publication, I tend to glance at Yahoo News once in a while. The title is Why Men Have More Body Image Issues Than Ever. And it actually quotes someone I talked to way back in the 90s, Dr. Harrison Pope from Harvard. He wrote The Adonis Complex, has been involved with a lot of body dysmorphic disorders. And that's when you just look in the mirror and you see someone different. Anorexic tend to have it, bulimics tend to have it. Well, men have it too. I actually wrote an article on it way back in the mid 80s, before all this was really prevalent. People didn't understand why men are having these issues. I called it physique structure dysmorphia. And I discussed how guys of all ages, from high school on up, and even junior high nowadays, but back then it was more late high school, college, and up, were doing anything they could to change their physique, thinking that their physique was their way to get women, their way to make money, their way to get a good job, their way to get into school. We think that, we hear those terms, especially when we hear about women trying to get money, work, the right guy. But I think guys are just as guilty. So I wrote this article way back in the mid 80s. Harrison Pope then comes in the 90s through Harvard with a very similar article and information that he was seeing that these men of all ages are starting to do dangerous things to get that physique. And now we're really seeing it. It's really prevalent now. The use of anabolic androgenic steroids is at an all-time high, according to some of his latest research. And I can tell you that just in the number of kids, young, late teens, early 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, that come into my office on steroids and then don't know what to do because their health has changed. So I'm talking about this because I think it's important. One, we understand why this is occurring, and two, what we can do about it that's legal and safe and healthy in the long run. Number one, I think it's occurring because look at every action figure out there, every superhero, every model on the big screen, The Rock, Van Diesel. I mean, the list goes on. These guys are built like brick shit houses, forgive my language. And everyone thinks that that's the way you need to look. Well, one, it's not. Anybody that judges you just on your body, you probably don't want to hang with them anyway. But that's a totally different subject. We won't get into detailed stuff like that right now. But two, there is a safe way to do it. You can do that stuff without drugs. You can get into good shape. I have found if you aim for health, your body follows. If you aim for the optimal body, you may lose your health, and then you lose that body. So focusing on eating, good exercise, stress control, sleep, develop good relationships with those around you, your family first, your church goers, your schoolmates, your work coworkers, working on those things, that develops a health umbrella, if you will, that then allows you to focus more on your body changing the way you want. Again, if you focus on changing your body first, you lose your health, you lose those other things, and eventually you lose that body. I cannot tell you how many patients I see per week that come in after the contest or after the photo shoot or after the wedding, and they feel and look horrible. They've gained tons of weight plus what they beyond what they lost to get in that shape because they did it wrong, especially the anabolic androgenic steroid users, and that goes for men and women. So I just want to take this opportunity to say, guys, there's other ways to do it. Get my book, Better Than Steroids. Get anybody's book on how to eat and exercise, how to focus on the big picture of health. See a doctor that understands all those different variables that make people healthy, and let him or her help you in that quest. Really, that's the secret to do it. Taking drugs may have short-term body-changing effects, but has long-term life consequences. So something to think about. Until next time.